In this session, we will speak about types of sources of energy. Generally, sources of energy in nature can be classified as conventional source of energy and non-conventional sources of energy. The sources of energy which have been in use over a long period of time, such sources of energy are called as conventional sources of energy. Some conventional sources of energy are also called as non-renewable sources of energy, which means the sources cannot be renewed or replenished over a short period of time. It takes millions of years for its formation and they are exhaustible. Such resources are called as non-renewable sources of energy. For example, fossil fuels. Whereas non-conventional sources of energy are the sources of energy which are yet in the process of development. Such resources are also called as renewable, which means it can be renewed or replenished over a short period of time and they are inexhaustible. For example, solar energy and tidal energy. Now let us discuss about conventional source of energy briefly. One of the conventional source of energy is fossil fuel. In ancient time, wood was the only source of energy. The exploitation of fossil fuel has led the industrial revolution possible. Increasing industrialization has led the better quality of life, leading to global demands in tremendous rate. Fossil fuels are natural occurring fuels which are formed deep inside the earth's surface from the prehistoric remains of dead plants and animals. They are in limited reserves. Since fossil fuels are non-renewable sources of energy, we need to conserve them. The three common fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Now let us discuss about coal. Coal is a hard, black, complex mixture of compounds of carbon and hydrogen forming hydrocarbons. Other compounds such as sulfur, oxygen and nitrogen are also present in very small amount. The percentage of carbon present in coal determines its quality. The dead remains of plants and animals get decomposed inside the earth's surface and the soil keep on depositing on them, and these organic matter get compressed, and after millions of years under increasing heat and pressure they get transformed into coal. This formation of coal is called as coalification. Accordingly, there are four stages of coal formation. The first stage of formation of coal is peat. It is soft, organic material of partially decayed plants and mineral matters. It contains up to 60% of carbon content. It takes 500 millions for its formation. It is used for cooking and domestic heating. The second stage is called as lignite. It is also called as brown coal or lower grade coal. It contains up to 70% of carbon content. It takes about 350 million years for its formation and it is used for spontaneous combustion. The third stage is bituminous. It is soft coal and it has high calorific value. It has up to 85% of carbon content and it takes 70 million of years for its formation. It is used for production of coke and gas. The last stage is anthracite. It is also called as hard coal or best quality coal. It has up to 95% of carbon content. It takes 1 million years for its formation and it is used for LPGs. As the increasing heat and pressure, the plant material gets converted into peat. Peat gets converted into lignite. Lignite gets converted into bituminous. Bituminous gets converted into high grade coal, which is also called as anthracite, and which is the last stage. What happens when coal is burnt? The carbon content present in coal reacts with atmospheric oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Whereas the coal, in absence of air, it produces coke. All the volatile elements present in coal evaporates at its room temperature and coke is produced. Coke is about 95% of carbon and it has very high calorific value. So it is very good fuel. Now let us study some of the uses of coal. In solid state, coke is used for extraction in metals and manufacture of steel. In liquid state, coal tar is used for roofing materials. paints and synthetic dyes, and also in perfumes. In gas state, it is coal gas used for fuels for home and lighting purpose. So that is it about coal. Let us now study about petroleum. One of the common fossil fuel is petroleum. It is also called as crude oil. It is dark, foul-smelling and oily liquid found under the crust of the earth, trapped in between rocks. These rocks are also called as source rocks. It is a mixture of liquid, solid and hydrocarbons mixed with water, salt and earth particles. Other compounds such as sulfur, oxygen and nitrogen are also present in very small amount. It takes millions of years for its formation. The organic matter or the dead remains of plants and animals, mainly marine organisms, they decompose under increasing heat and pressure and they get liquefied. This liquefied matter is called as petroleum. It can be obtained by digging oil wells, and refining the oil yields various products such as LPG, petrol, kerosene, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax and bitumen. Now let us study about its uses. LPG is used as fuels for home, industry and vehicles. Petrol is used for transportation fuels. Fuel oils for heating and electricity generation. Then kerosene is used as fuel for stoves, lamps and jet aircrafts. Diesel is used as fuel for heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Lubricating oil is used for lubrication. Paraffin wax is used in ointments, candles and vaselines. Bitumen is used in paints and road surfacing. So these are some of the uses of petroleum. Next we will speak about natural gas. Natural gas is clean and non-toxic fossil fuel. Like oils, the natural gas is obtained from organic materials or remains of dead plants and animals, mainly marine organisms, under increasing heat and pressure, sealed off in oxygen-free environment, undergo thermal breakdown and form hydrocarbons. In lightest form, these hydrocarbons exist in gaseous state and it is collectively known as natural gas. Natural gas is colorless and odorless gas. It is clean and non-toxic. It is stored as CNG or compressed natural gas under high pressure. It is composed of mainly methane. So methane is simplest and lightest hydrocarbon. It is highly flammable and it consists of one carbon atom surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms. So this is a one carbon atom and it is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms. Now let us study some of the uses of natural gas. The CNG is used for generating power. It is used for fuels in automobiles. It is used at homes for cooking. It is used as starting materials in chemical industries. So that is it about natural gas. Next we will talk about thermal power plant. Thermal power plant is a power generating station where the fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum are burnt to produce electricity. In thermal power plant, the thermal energy is converted into electrical energy. Let us demonstrate a model of thermal power plant. When the pressure cooker is heated, the steam is allowed to pass through the turbine. The blades of the turbine rotates and the shaft move, which is attached to dynamo. Dynamo converts this mechanical energy into electrical energy and current is produced. Hence, the bulb glows. Similar concept is applied in thermal power plant. Let us study the working of thermal power plant. In thermal power station, coal in presence of air is burnt in a boiler and the water in the boiler is converted into steam. The boiler is attached to a stack. It contains flue gas such as carbon dioxide and water vapor, as well as nitrogen and excess oxygen remaining from the intake combustion air. Steam under high pressure is directed onto a turbine which converts the thermal energy into mechanical energy by turning the turbine shaft. This shaft, which is connected to electrical generator, produces electricity as it turns. The condenser converts the spent steam from the turbine back to water and this water is pumped back into the boiler. The cooling tower removes the heat absorbed in the circulating cooling water system. Therefore, it acts as a heat exchange. since it is efficient for transmission of electricity than transporting fossil fuels like coal or petroleum over the same distance. Hence, the number of thermal power plants are set up near coal mines or oil fields. Now we have studied about the working of thermal power plant. Let us list some of the points on advantages and disadvantages of thermal power plant. Making energy from thermal power plant is easy. The fuel used is cheap. Plant can be set up anywhere near fuels and water supplies. Disadvantages are uses fossil fuels, so these fossil fuels cause pollution. A large water source is required to convert water into steam. It has very low efficiency. Its maintenance cost is high. So that is it about thermal power plant. We will discuss about hydropower plant. The power that is generated from moving water is called as hydropower. It converts the kinetic energy of flowing water into electricity. It is a renewable source of energy. The major components of hydropower plants are dams. It raises the water levels and controls the flow of water. Turbine. It converts the kinetic energy of the flowing water into mechanical energy. Generators are connected to turbines through shaft. It converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Then transmission lines that conducts electricity. Now let us discuss the working of hydropower plant. The first thing is that we need a high-raised dam to stop the flow of water and accumulate it in one place. When all the water is gathered, a lot of potential energy is stored in the water. Next, the sluice gates are opened up and the water is made to flow with high pressure. When water flows, the potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. When the running water hits the blades of a turbine, the kinetic energy of a water is converted into mechanical energy. This turbine is in turn connected to a generator. As the turbine rotates rapidly, the generator generates electricity at a powerhouse. The used water will flow out into the river and the water level in the dam decreases. This level will increase once again with the help of natural rainwater. Therefore, it is the natural resources that will never get exhausted. Now let us list some of the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are it is a renewable source of energy. Construction of dams helps in providing irrigation for local farmers, controlling floods. It does not produce any environmental pollution. The operational cost is very low. So these are some of the advantages. The disadvantages are it requires high capital with low rate of return. Dams can only be built at specific location. Then a large area of agriculture is submerged underwater. So these are some of the points for disadvantages and advantages. That's it about hydropower plant. So in this session we discussed about conventional sources of energy, fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum and natural gas, and we discussed about the thermal power plant and hydropower plant.